Traders, welcome to this week's Forex forecast. I'm FX Telepath, and if this is your first time to my channel and you want to learn more about supply and demand and hopefully grow your trading account, start now by subscribing so that you don't miss any of my videos. I do these once a week, and I also do some trade reviews. And if this is your first time and you're interested in how my top-down analysis and how I take trades, check out this latest video I uploaded yesterday, supply and demand trade review, Aussie US dollar. It is one of my most recent videos, so check that out, and hopefully that'll give you a better idea of how I take my trades and my top-down analysis. So with that being said, we'll hop right into it, and this video is going to be a little bit longer today because I changed my layout. If you look at the last weekly forecast, I had the 3-month up here, the monthly, the weekly, and the daily. I recently changed it just to my top is the monthly, then the weekly, then the daily, and now we're going to go to the 4-hour. So hopefully with these weekly forecasts now at the 4-hour, we can find a little bit of more setups for you guys. So that's why I'm adding the 4-hour to the list. So I'm going to be redrawing all of my zones. So if you want to learn how to draw zones too, this is going to be a good video for you guys. So we'll start with the US dollar. They're still majority short, 58% to 42%. They're ranked number 5 on my list, and we'll look at the COT reports for the US dollar. This week they added longs to the US dollar here, as you can see, 2,900 longs, and they got rid of some shorts, so a little bullish sign. Before they were 36% long, now they are 42%, and they were 64% short, and now they are 58% short, which is a pretty big, significant change. I mean, it's not huge, but it's definitely, maybe we're seeing a shift. As you can see, the coloration of the cells it's maybe looking like it's going to change a little bit, and we'll just have to wait to see to find out. So we'll start with the monthly here. I see this little demand zone here, and why is that demand? Well, it broke this. It is responsible for breaking this downward momentum. I hate this magnet tool for that. It's responsible for breaking this downward momentum, so that is why I'm going to draw that. And as far as supply goes, this isn't the greatest supply zone, but I am going to draw it because it is the high and it reacted off of it, so I am going to keep that there. And then you would also have this little supply zone right there as well that is responsible for breaking these lows, so that is why I'm going to draw that out. And we've had this monthly area. I've been talking about this for a few weeks now. I thought we were going to see a nice clean push down into it, but clearly we're trying to maybe form a base here, maybe retest this area up here in the dollar. So some strength in the dollar wouldn't surprise me, and that's all I have to say about that. As far as the weekly goes, I'm going to draw that out like that. And then within this monthly zone, we do have a little weekly area right there that I'm going to have drawn out. Yeah, so we're kind of stuck in the middle here. And we'll just have to wait to see. If it shows weakness, then we'll be looking for sells in the US dollar. If it shows strength, then obviously we will be looking for buys. Price never made it up to this weekly zone or daily zone. Sorry, this is the daily now. And the daily, we've clearly been, on an uptrend on this daily time frame here. So as far as buyers go, we obviously have some buying stepping up right here. This 93.15 area, and then we're also going to have some demand down in here at that 92.30 area right there. And obviously there are some sellers that are stepping up right here, but this could be a potential trap where people think the new resistance is right up here. So what you might see happen in the dollar, if price does go up, you might see it just peak just above that zone, hit the stop losses, and then fall. And you know what, I'm going to keep this drawn out like that just to see. We'll see what happens. We'll see if that works out like that. And for this, I'm not gonna use the 4-hour on the DXY because nobody really trades the DXY, but I will do the 4-hour for all of the other pairs. And I hope you guys don't mind me drawing all these zones. I know it's going to be a little bit of a longer video today, but I know people were asking how I draw zones. So, hopefully this helps. Now on to the euro. They still remain very long. The euro took over. I think the Japanese yen was ranked number 3 last week, and the euro got a little bit stronger this week. So, and they're still very, very long. Actually, a little bit more long. They were 81%. Now they're 82%. They got rid of 2,300 shorts, and they did get rid of some longs. So clearly, they're still very bullish here. They're still not at their max 266, but I could see things slowing down a little bit here. But clearly, if you look at this whole area, 84,000 to 53,000, they've been getting rid of shorts. Sorry, guys, I got a little bit of a stuffy nose this morning. So yeah, they've been getting rid of shorts, keeping their longs, pretty at the same level. So still pretty bullish on the euro. I'll break this down here. It's gonna look similar to the US dollar, just opposite. There's that monthly zone that I was showing you guys on the DXY, and then you're gonna have some buyers down in this area. Right there, price reacted off that pretty nicely. Kind of a weird looking zone, but it is what it is. And then you're gonna have, just like the dollar, you're gonna have that little bit of demand there, potential trap setup there. But I definitely expect us to go to that level up there. As far as the weekly goes, you do have a little zone right there that I would potentially like. I definitely like that. Very strong move away. It's within that monthly too. That's beautiful. It's almost exactly what we want. But clearly, I could definitely, based on the call reports, I definitely see the euro it's gonna keep on trucking. I think I'm not even gonna draw that out. I think that we will still see the euro push up. I almost bet you we'll see the call reports still remain long up here, and by the time we get up there, I'm sure you'll see on the call reports, I'm sure you will see this start to dwindle down, and maybe, or at least add some more shorts to take their profits at this monthly, weekly area of supply. As far as the daily goes, I'll blow this one up because I talked about it last week. I was looking for a trade at this 50% candle. I had an order here on this proximal line. Never got filled. It was a bummer. But that's part of trading. Sometimes you just don't get what you want. I guess I'll draw that too up there. Just because these are areas where sellers are going to be stepping up. Clearly we are kind of on a downtrend on this euro though on the daily, so keep that in mind. I still like this daily area for a buying opportunity though, especially now that retail might think that this is the new support. Maybe it'll drop a little bit lower and rally from there. So I'm still going to be looking for longs in that area for sure. As far as the 4-hour goes, which will clearly be updating a little bit longer or more. You had that area that was holding up very nicely. This area held up here pretty well. Not the greatest zone, but it is a zone. As far as in this daily area, if you want to zoom in on the daily and look at the 4-hour, that's what I was looking at on the 4-hour, this little zone right here. And you also do have this origin of the rally. Actually, that 4-hour is the one that held, I'm pretty sure. If you look, that 4-hour held beautifully. Look at that. That would have been a great trade. 4-hour zone right at the start of a daily. Kind of looked like my Aussie US dollar trade that I took the other day. So yeah, that's what I see on the euro US dollar. So I am still looking for longs. Go to the Aussie dollar. The Australian dollar still remains number 1, but they're 55% long, 45% short. Not nothing great. I am long the Aussie US dollar. I took 90% of my profits. But you know, maybe we're seeing a shift here. I'm still pretty bullish on the Aussie dollar, but you know, we are coming up to these monthly areas. Start off the monthly here. This is pretty far up, but might as well just draw it today. There. It's kind of a wacky looking chart. I'm gonna draw that out and that right there. Yeah, I'm gonna draw that out because price reacted off that. That's nothing. Like, I wouldn't really put my money on that. That's why it still went long here. As far as the weekly goes, right here, little zone right there. Not the best. I'm not even going to draw that right there. And then you have this little area on the weekly. That's kind of a weird one. Nothing great. Like, I would actually almost rather draw it like that. A friend of mine showed me to draw a zone like that. But yeah, that's the weekly. I bought this pullback right here. I'll blow up the daily for you guys. Go look at my trade review. I'm not gonna break down this whole trade, but I took this daily zone. It was a beautiful trade, very nice. It was good to me. Just gonna quickly draw these zones. I just don't want this video to be that long, even though it is going to be. But yeah, that's what I see in the daily. I wouldn't be surprised to see some weakness since we're reacting off of this zone. But at the same time, I could also see us, you know, pushing up to that monthly area up there. Or at least retesting these supply zones on the daily. And then the 4 hour, we had partially the reason I took profits is because it was reacting off of this 4 hour supply. It was holding. I just gotta blow my nose. 2 seconds, guys. All right, sorry about that. It's this change of the season that's killing me right now. But yeah, we had this 4 hour zone that was working really well, so I took profits. I'm not going to go over the trade. If you want to look at the trade, go check out my latest video. You do have a little 4 hour level here. Nothing that I am going to be taking. Because I like to usually like to take trades that are within the daily zone. That's just my personal preference. But clearly the 4 hours on an uptrend. Just kind of expecting some pullbacks. If I do look in this area, it'd probably have to be a confirmation trade or something like that, or half risk since it's in the 4 hour. We'll go to the Canadian dollar, which is the worst. Good old Canada, where I live. Our unemployment is the worst out of all of the major countries, but they remain 65% long. So it's a Canadian one. The Canadian dollar is kind of a weird one. Still don't really fully understand these call reports yet on the Canadian dollar. They're super weird. If you go back, it doesn't really make any sense. But they added some more. They didn't add anything, but they took off more shorts than longs, not by much, like 60, 70 contracts, but still remain long on this one. So I guess you're looking for shorts on the US dollar, CAD. If you look here, that zone held. So we are going to draw that on the monthly. Then we had this little area here for demand that I talked about that before. I said we'll probably see a reaction off of that based on this clean arrival. We did. I just don't think that is going to hold. We have that little area there, which isn't great. It's tested, definitely not amazing. As far as other demand goes, you don't really have much till down in this area right there. That huge move away. And then I'm sure you would also have a little bit of a hard time right there. So I'm going to keep those zones drawn out because, you know, I'm not taking any trades in the monthly. It's more of just to look for. As far as the weekly goes, I'm going to draw that. It's a nice move, not the greatest move away, but it is a move away. Weekly looks pretty choppy. I don't mind this. I just don't know if we're gonna get down there anytime soon. If this breaks this, I like this level for demand. But it's just kind of a weird chart right now. Like, we are sitting in that monthly buying area, so I'm not really looking to. Like, I am looking to short. The Canadian dollar is a tough one. I almost don't even want to keep it on my list for now, but I will for you guys. So the daily has clearly been on an uptrend. As we are reacting off this monthly demand, I'm not surprised. But we are coming up to, oh yeah, you know what, we're in this weekly. I almost forgot about this one. We are in this little weekly supply zone, and you can see it's reacting off of it right now. So it's right in this area. We're reacting off of it right now. What I would like to see is maybe for us to break this, come back, retest that area for a nice trade to get short. Even the Canadian dollar took a nice dip on the 4 hour right here. The buyers picked it up, but it's still looking pretty weak. So that's what I see on the Canadian dollar. Do the Japanese yen, another weird chart that I don't like. They're number 4, but they're pretty long. That's where I want to put my money on. These dark red candles, or dark red cells rather. And we'll look at the call reports. So they even added more shorts. They didn't add anything, but their percentage did go up 1%, 67% short to 68. They did get rid of a lot of shorts though, but they also got rid of a lot of longs. So they're still very short on the USD JPY. We'll start with the monthly here. This zone is tested and wiki, but you know, clearly buyers have been stepping up right there. And then even right here, and then right there. Some little supply zones that worked out pretty nicely. But on this monthly, we're kind of seeing like a pennant or whatever you call those retail patterns. I'm not really sure. What am I doing here? And then on the weekly, you have all this tested area right here. That, you know, I don't really, it's tested like so many times that, you know, I'm not even a huge fan. And as far as this goes, this is just complete trash. Like, you do have this zone that's been holding up clearly on the weekly for a while now, but it's just pretty trash. As far as the daily goes, I don't mind. I talked about this last week. I think I definitely don't mind taking a stab at that weekly area at the 106 mark. And as far as the daily demand goes, I'm probably just going to do one of these. Not a good zone, but you know, it is the lows. So if I do get short up here, my ultimate take profit would be down in this area. And clearly some buyers were stepping up right here as well. So I'm going to have that drawn out just kind of as my curve, right? Just to see. And the 4 hour, we had this level holding up the 105.683. As far as demand goes in the 4 hour, yeah, like, and then if you zoom in on that daily, we have a nice 4 hour demand level there and there. But based on everything, I don't really even want to be looking to go long on the US dollar Japanese yen. I definitely am looking for shorts on the pair. And then you have this little 4 hour level that broke all these lows. So, you know, I wouldn't mind maybe looking at this area for confirmation, but ultimately I want it to push up to this daily area of supply. All right, go to the pound. Number 6, not looking too good for the pound. 57% long to 43% short. Nothing great. Kind of staying away from the pound. I am more short on the pound. Clearly they added a bunch of shorts. Look at that, 11,000 shorts that they added. So I think you can see that pretty clearly on the chart though. This pound, I took that trade in there, which you guys know if you watched the video. Yeah, these little areas of supply. I'm not going to draw all of the zones. I'm not going to go too far because, you know, we don't have all day. You have some buyers stepping in here. Nothing fantastic. I'm just simply calling these buyers. You know, if I were to get in short up here, this is where I'd probably be my ultimate take profit. This is not demand. I wouldn't really call that demand. It hasn't really done anything. So, and as far as the weekly goes, you have a nice zone up here, but that's really far away. And then I would just be mindful of this area of demand at 1.2622. That's what I would have drawn out for now. But clearly the weekly's on an uptrend. But as you can see, based on the call reports there, it's been kind of all wacky. Like, this is what you want to see right here, this huge imbalance. But as you can see right now, it's kind of balanced, so it's not really great. But you know, with the 50-cent, almost a 10% increase in shorts, hopefully that we'll see a more clear sign for the pound to go short. We had this zone here that I took. I missed another trade right here. It was a nice 4-hour trade. I think Sakil in the group got it. But it'd be nice to see the pound with them adding shorts like that. It'd be nice to see the pound get all the way up to here, you know, for a beautiful shorting opportunity. That would be ideal. I would definitely take a short up in that area based on, you know, the shift that we're seeing, them adding longs, taking off, or adding shorts, taking off longs. So that would be optimal for me to go short in that area, because, you know, I don't know if a 4-hour zone is going to hold that long, you know what I mean? So as far as demand goes on the 4-hour, you have this right there, the 1.275 area, and then you have this 4-hour zone that's been holding up there. Yeah, so we're kind of in this range right now. I would like to see a break up here, like I said, sell short up in there in that area. All right, we'll go to the Swiss, ranks number 2, 75% long to 25% short. That's great. Still looking to go short on there. They did take off some shorts, but they even added some longs as well. So maybe we're going to see a shift towards this type of coloration where it's pretty even instead of this huge imbalances like that. But overall, I'm still looking to go short on this pair. We'll draw the zones on the monthly. You got that. On the weekly, you got that. Or on the month, as far as demand, you have that. This is tested. This is all looks like junk. Jeez, this is terrible. These charts are awful. You have that weird step pattern. I don't even like it. That area of supply. That is all I'm going to draw out for now. Big zone here, but I'll draw it like that for now. But that's what I see. Clearly, we've been on a downtrend, so, you know, if price, you can see them. Maybe they're changing. Maybe they're taking some profits, and, you know, I'm not surprised. Look at this huge rally we've had. Maybe they're taking their profits, adding more longs, so we can get up to this area on the monthly or this area on the weekly. But I know for sure that I am going to be taking a few stabs at this up here if price does get up here, I will definitely be looking to go long in one of, or short in one of these two areas. Clearly we are on an uptrend on the daily. As far as a buy, if I were to buy, which I'm not, that's where I'd put my money at, right there on that daily level. And I'm sure you even have a nice, you have a nice 4-hour zone right there that's tested, but you know, I'm sure it'd probably hold based on the fact that's in a daily. But like I said, I'm not even looking to go long on this pair. And you had this zone holding up right there as well, or it didn't even make it there. But actually, if you wanted to draw this hole like that, kind of reacted off of it. Right there. As far as sellers go on the 4-hour, that's what I see. So we're in this range. I don't know what's going to happen in like the medium term. I don't know if we'll see a pullback to here and up to there, like something like that, or we're just going to shoot up right to there like that. Either or, I'm looking to go short in there if the cut reports are still telling me to. So, all right, that's all the pairs. And we'll go to gold. They added longs, got rid of 17,000 shorts, and you know, that's huge considering look how bullish they were on gold for a while. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so they're still very, very, very bullish on gold, and so am I. You have that area on the monthly. I've talked about that. That is my nearest buying opportunity, or that's where I'm waiting to buy. You have a couple other areas in here. It's kind of a weird looking chart. I'll even draw this, even though it's tested. As far as the weekly goes, yeah, you have this, which is in that area. I could definitely see a reaction off of that. I'm definitely, if gold breaks below 1850, I'm a buyer, 100%. You know, even if you look at this daily, we're clearly on a downtrend on the daily. You have all these, but it's not going to be like, it's definitely going to take a little time for it to get up there if we do. You've had all these little supply zones holding, but I don't think that they will hold for too much longer. Right here. That is my nearest buy area on the daily, right there. I've talked about this. I posted in the group. These are the two options for gold that I'm seeing. I'm seeing price go up from here, break this zone, hopefully break this zone as well. Come down here, hopefully there's a nice demand zone, buy for a move up. That's one of the options. Or this daily zone reacts, pushes down here, and you buy for a nice push up. I'd prefer this option, but you might not get it. So that's kind of what I'm looking to do on gold. As far as the 4-hour goes, we're clearly on an uptrend. Got this nice area right there. As far as supply goes, yeah, that 4-hour level has held, but it looks pretty weak to me. It keeps penetrating higher and higher, so that's what I see on gold. We'll go to silver, similar picture. They added a little bit of longs, took off some shorts. They didn't add any longs, but their percentage changed from 68 to 69% long. Still not even at their max. Still very bullish on silver. Similar pictures. You have a little on the monthly. You have this area of demand. Two little areas of demand right there. As far as supply goes, we are reacting off of this area here at the 30.28. It's reacting off of that. It barely touched it. Clearly we've been on a tear for silver, guys. Similar picture of gold. That's where I'm looking to buy more silver in that area. right at that 19.25, basically $20. I wouldn't even, these whole numbers really seem to work, so I wouldn't even be surprised if we get rates stuck at $20 or a little bit before. And it's hard to see, like it's hard to tell what gold and silver are going to do because it's all based on the US dollar, the whole economy, all that stuff. I'm just simply looking for the best buying opportunities based on the call reports and everything that I see. It seems like we should be buying gold and silver, especially with the dangers of inflation that are on the way. As far as the 4-hour goes, you have some nice little zones right here. I just don't know if these are going to hold up for a while, right? Like I'm kind of looking for some more long-term trades on gold and silver, so I don't know if I would feel comfortable just taking these 4-hour, these 4-hour levels by themselves. But in oil, I started tracking oil call reports myself, so hopefully, in a year or so, this will be full, which it will be. They did take some profits off of oil. They added a little bit of long still, but they got rid of they added a bunch of shorts to take profits. So I am kind of expecting a move down on oil. I'm going to mark out these monthly supply zones because that'll give us a very good idea of where price is at based on that higher time frame. Even the monthly is technically on a downtrend. Technically on a downtrend, we're just experiencing a nice pullback right now. I just, based on the car reports, I don't really see oil struggling to make a move higher in the near future. I don't know how long that's going to take. We'll have to just wait and see. You had these couple little buying opportunities in there. You even have some selling right here, which we will see on the weekly, which you will see way better on the daily. Right there at that high. Another little hidden zone right there that worked beautifully. Actually, you know what I did? I drew this daily zone like that, and it broke. But then we also had this zone that I took. If you want to look at my oil trade, go back. It's a few videos ago. I took this trade on oil. It was very nice. This little demand zone broke, but I'm actually going to extend it like that to see. If price does break this, we have this little other weekly zone right at the 34.54 area, which I wouldn't be surprised. I could see them definitely taking off some profits on oil based on this huge rally that we've seen up, this huge pullback. If you look at the monthly here, I wouldn't be surprised to see a retest of that area and hopefully push back up. I do have some long-term investments in oil as well, so that is what I'm hoping for. As far as the 4-hour goes, you have a pretty decent zone right here. It's tested, but we're reacting off of it right now. So it would have been a good setup. You have this for supply, buyers and sellers. That little area right there. And then you're going to have a hard time probably right here as well. So, oil's got I could see it ranging for a while. Not ranging, but, kind of just bouncing off demand, bouncing off supply. Now that we're overextended on it. But I wouldn't be surprised to see long-term oil at, $60, $70 a barrel. To the S&P 500. They're 55% long, 45% short. It's kind of a weird one. I'm not putting my money in here at all. I don't like it. It's kind of a weird. This zone broke. We got a new area of demand on the monthly right here. That's not a bad area at all. Look at this look how well that worked right there. This little engulfing candle. Demand that started that rally. Beautiful. Would have been a beautiful trade. I'm just going to draw what I see here, guys. So if I'm quiet, I apologize. First time I'm really looking at the S&P. I'm sure you'll have some selling up there at that wick Not the best, but you know, looks pretty. Chart looks pretty bullish to me, guys. Um, Even though I don't think I think the stock market's the biggest bubble we've ever seen, but you know, that's for a whole nother video. Price is holding this daily area. I've noticed even on the Nasdaq, there's a similar little level that's been holding up very well. So I'm not surprised to see price holding up there. And then at the 4-hour, this zone held up very nicely. That would have been a great trade. Broke the highs here. As far as demand, a little bit lower. You got this, you know, little area here that reacted. You have two little areas right here, actually, like that. Supply right here as well. The 34.12. It's kind of ranging now. I could actually see it reacting off of that, maybe pushing a little lower. We'll see. I don't really trade this. I just wanted to break it down for you guys. Now the US 10-year bond, similar picture. They added a bunch of longs. I was surprised that they're still buying these crappy bonds, but 28,000 longs they added. Which, keep in mind, that seems like a lot, but look at their position sizing, right? Even on the commercial side, they have like 2.3 million contracts open. Like, it's a huge market, right? The 10-year treasuries, but clearly they've been adding longs, so it's maybe it's a buying opportunity. I don't really know. Kind of new to the whole bond market. As far as a monthly goes, that's the nearest area I see. You know, if they're adding longs up here, like, fuck, pardon my language, but you know, that's pretty weird. Or maybe they're just doing one last little push up. We'll have to see. Yeah, we've just been on a tear, the bond market. So I'm just going to draw out the zones I see. I'm just going to draw that out for now. On the daily has been kind of odd. I did take a trade in the US 30-year bond, but as far as demand goes, I don't feel comfortable putting my money there until down here. But, you know, if they're adding longs, and let's just say price comes down to here, we see the call report right in this area, and then they add even more longs, I'm definitely going to be a buyer in this area. You know, if price does drop down to here, and I'm looking at here, and the next week I fill out my call report, and you know, this 55% turns into like 58 or something like that, I'm buying. I'm most likely buying in this area, in this daily zone. So I'm not even going to really draw out the 4-hour right now, but clearly that zone worked beautifully. So that's my thought process with that. And last one, natural gas. I don't know if anybody trades natural gas. I do. They haven't really been doing much. It's been mostly the same shit. So I actually took it off of my trading list right now. I'm not looking to do anything on natural gas. I'm just kind of sitting on the sidelines for now because it's not really, the call reports aren't really showing a huge imbalance. So it's kind of, you know, what do we do? And we even made new lows on this chart if you look at the monthly. But we are reacting off of this supply. There's no doubt that is selling. You know, we're gonna have some buyers pick it up down here most likely. I don't know too much about the natural gas industry or anything. I just know that, you know, it's tradable, so I trade it. That's why I'm tracking the call reports now to hopefully, you know, learn as much as I can about the natural gas trading and how it works. Clearly got some buyers stepping up right there on the weekly. As you can see, had a very nice reaction off of it. So we're reacting off that weekly area. Maybe look for buys, but like I said, I'm sitting on the side until the call reports show more of an imbalance. Yeah, so buyers are stepping in here, kind of in that range. Clearly more sellers are stepping up. I wouldn't be surprised that if we ranged for a while based on those call reports being pretty balanced. Like I said, I'm just going to wait for that imbalance so I can put my money in a higher odds situation. But yeah, that was kind of a pretty long video. Next week it won't be as long. If you made it this far, let me know. All right, guys, take care.